Hey everybody, this is Tambio and I'm back with another Transformers video review. And this time I have ToyWorld's TW-H04 for the Headmaster line, for their Headmaster line Infinitor, which is also Fort Max. Alright, so taking a look at the box. Once again, they're going with the boxes. Instead of going with the windowed boxes, they're going with the kind of the shoebox type box with the styrofoam insert on the inside. On the outside, you can see a very nice drawn picture of the figure. And you come over here and you can see, should we go over here? Yeah, that's the same picture, but it's black and white. You come here and they have the two base modes, which this one is the more iconic base mode down here on the bottom. And then the one on the top is a new base mode that they've given him because they've given him some extra articulation and stuff. It's actually showing it a little bit different than how they have it in the instructions. I'll have to take a look at that. Then they also have, if you come on this side, you have his robot mode, his headbot, and his battleship mode. So let's go ahead and bring that up so you can see the whole guy. And then, like I said, there's the black and white version of the picture that's on the front. And then you come to the top right here and you have the ToyWorld logo. And then the bottom, I'm pretty sure it's just legal stuff. So open them up. Just want to lay it down like this. Lift that flap up and lift them up. And then you have his different things inside the box. So you have a little sticker. And then you have his tech spec card. I don't know what his different stats are. He has 1-5. All the rest of them are 10s. So. And then he has his instructions. And I actually had to open this one because his instructions open up. So because he has multiple modes. His instructions. And once again, I have that styrofoam with the ToyWorld logo on it, and then the figure on the inside. Things popping out. Let's take all this stuff out. Okay, so these are all the different pieces that you get inside the box. Let me bring the camera down. So you get the main body, you get a gun, and then his 2 ramps, and then the headmaster. So we'll go ahead, and there's a little assembly required whenever you take this guy out of the box. So I'm going to go ahead and start in his spaceship mode. So easiest way to do that is bring this up. You're going to come back here and you'll notice right off the bat that there's something a little bit different with this guy. These are actually up here and they're not right here. So they added some alternate transformation for this thing right here. What you want to do is you want to take this and to flip it out like that and then flip it around, and you'll notice that there's a little post right here and a hole right here. You clip that in like that, and then you're going to do it for this side also. The hardest thing is actually getting this notch around that lip right there. Okay. And then, once again, you're going to tab. Come on. Okay, and do like that. And then, as you'll probably remember, you want to take these and flip these around. And tab all the different tabs together. I think there's about 4 tabs in there. There's one right here, two in the windows, and then one right here, I think. I'm not sure if there's one down here or not. But you have that, and you flip this forward like that, and then for the arms, I'll just go down here, flip that up. So for the arms, you're going to flip this panel up. There's a panel, I promise. Flip the hands into that panel. And it's nice because then now these are on a hinge and they're not just locked into the back. Flip, and you have that. Then you have two tabs right here on the arms, and then you have this little notch right here. I'm going to bring those down, and you can notch that in to the forearm right there. This one doesn't always want to notch in very well, and then when it does notch in, it wants to pull this up. I don't know if there's something that I do that's wrong that causes it to do that. Oh well. You want to flip these down. And then you're going to take the gun. Like that. And take the headmaster. Flip that up. Put them in here. And this is the... I forgot something. They added a piece right here. These pieces, so that this doesn't twist. You can take this piece and tab it into here now. And you have one of those on each side. So there, now this waist is not going to twist. And that's the only function that piece has. You take this, flip this out so that you can have the missiles or the cannons out. And you can take these, you can even take these, and it's a little hard because it doesn't have a lip on any of those posts right there. You can flip those up so you have those cannons. And there's his battleship. So it's reminiscent of the G1 battleship, so we'll go ahead and show off his regular city mode and remove that. We'll go ahead and move these up like this, and you want to take that and then this, and then you want to take these, and you see that these are not hollow like on the G1. They actually have a panel that's in front of it. You can flip the panel, and then you see the tab in the hole. Just tap that in together, and you'll do the same thing for this side. You want to rotate this around, and then collapse it up on itself like that. So then with that like so, you take this, and this guy has a little, well, you don't have to do much with him, but there are some different things that you can do with this. Like you have flips and different turns that weren't on the original one. You can actually take him, and to make him proper, you just want to go like this and then push him in, because you can actually take this thing and push it in and out. I don't know if you can see that. See, you just want to tab it right there, and then underneath here you want to flip out this ramp. This ramp gets stuck sometimes, so we'll go ahead and just pry that out with a knife. Usually I don't use knives on toys like that, or especially on things like this. That was the only thing that I had that was handy, so I went ahead and used that. Once again, little pest. Take this, and you can peg it right there. It's still being a pest. Flip those little ramps down. And now he's in his traditional base mode. And it's just like normal, a normal traditional base mode that he's always had. And then he has a secondary base mode that they've given him. I'll go ahead and remove that. And okay, so to transform him into that secondary base mode, go ahead and get him back, get his feet back normal to normal. Alright, so his legs are back to normal. You want to rotate the waist around. And then you want to take these so that these are on the outside like this. It's a little hard because those ratchets are pretty strong. Flip those out. And something that I've noticed that I don't know how to fix are that these ratchets, generally the only time that you come in to an issue with this is with this mode right here, because one click this way and it points this way, and one click this way it points backwards. So the best way that I found to do this is actually have it pointing that way. And then you're going to take this, you're going to take these down, and then you can actually take and then clip that into this portion right here. You'll see how there's two tabs. There's a tab right there and then a tab underneath it. You can put that in between like that. So once again, I don't know what it is that makes that thing want to. And then the gun, you can take and put this pretty much anywhere. I don't know, that's the only one that I have a problem with is this arm right here. I don't know what it is that rubs up against it or what. But it doesn't want to stay tabbed in. Come on, tab in. And then for some odd reason, when you you can tab it right here. You can take this, flip it like so, and then you have it, their secondary base. And then you can also take, if you don't want these on here, the way that the picture on the outside of the box showed, it actually showed the ramps attached to the legs like that. So it's kind of up to you on how you want to do this. And then you can take the gun and you can actually post it like that. Since this really is a kind of unofficial transformation of him, really you can do whatever you want to with it. Alright, and then to get him back into his robot mode, so we'll show that off. Take this, put this up, put that back on the arm right now, flip this up, put it back on the arm, then we gotta rotate this back around again. Okay, close that. Take this panel, And then the easiest way that I found to put these panels in is to actually go like this. And you see how that's not straight? So you kind of tab those into this portion right here and then push that down and it locks it into place. Okay. Now, I didn't show you for the ship mode. It actually has wheels on the bottom so that it can roll. And they're in a couple places. See, right here, and then right here, and then right here. I've heard some people say that those wheels fall off. I haven't had any problems with that. I've transformed him a few times, and I can't say that I've had a lot of issues with that. Okay, so that is like that now. So now let's rotate the arms. Oops, not yet. Arms not yet. And take the headmaster out. Just dump him on the ground. Sometimes it's easier to actually flip this open and then grab it right there and do that. And you want to take this, rotate that ramp down, that red ramp that you just saw right there, and then rotate this down. I'm going to take this and then see the tab right here. There's a hole right here. So not only do these portions tap into the body, but this portion also tabs into the back, so it keeps it pretty well secured whenever you get it all tabbed in properly. This doesn't want to go in. You can see that it's there. It just doesn't want to go in. Come on. There we go. Okay, put that up. This thing has all kinds of new articulation on it. I'll have to show you that in robot mode. Here, can unlock that, untab this, and then grab these little things that look like ratchets on here with the arm, or with the hand. Ow. Got my thumbnail. And you just want to take, and you can use your nails on those, and then flip the fists out. Sometimes they kind of twist a little bit and get lodged in there, so you got to push it back in and then twist it again. Okay, come on out. There we go. Okay. Alright, so something that I want to show you is that this can actually flip down, and you see, if you look in there, it's all black. So to transform the head, because we'll get to that black real quick, we're going to transform the head. So you pin his legs together and then flip this up like that. So you pin it and then flip it up into the chest right here. It doesn't lock into place, it's just kind of more of a guide. And you take the head and you lock it in, and you can see it does the little text on him. That middle one you can't really see because it's a dark blue, but it is a different color than that black, and it's red, blue, and then a really dark green also. So see, if you do the light a different way, you can see the different colors. And that's where the old elevator. No, that wasn't the elevator. That was the. Those where you plugged in the radar dish onto his chest. This section right here you can actually pop open. You can put the target master in here. You can pop this open. That's new. You can put him another one in there. Not target master, the headmaster. So you can put different headmasters from the different releases that ToyWorld has done inside this guy. I don't think I showed the gel off on his leg very well whenever I put it into base mode. I don't even think I opened it when I put it into base mode. But you come down here and you have the ramp with the gel, but it doesn't have the opening on this side. And then you also have this on this side too. So. And this is this gun right here. It's very nice. I must say right now that the red on this guy is popping, man. It's like a chrome red on here, and it is absolutely fabulous. All the red paint on here is that kind of chromish red color. I think what they did is it's actually a two-coat paint job. I think what they did is they did it like a silver color and then put a clear red over it. So you take this, and he also has his waist cannon, so you can pull these out. He has his waist cannons, and then he also has his forearm cannons, so you can pop this little panel open right here, and he has his little forearm cannons too. And you didn't see that, so let me raise that up, and I will show you on the other arm. So you can pop this open and raise this up, and he has like his little forearm cannons too. So you have those. You have these. These don't extend. They look really small on him. I just remember whenever I had my Fort Max, they looked really large on him, and these look kind of puny. So real quickly, I'm going to show off articulation on this guy because he has a lot of new articulation on him, and that's the reason I kind of want to show this off. Why don't you want to act right? Usually don't have this many problems with this guy. Pop these back in. There we go. Okay, so articulation. In the head, they did add a joint. It's not in the head portion, it's in the body, and you can actually turn the head ever so slightly because it does get hung up by the feet from the headmaster. The headmaster, real quickly, let me show you him. Unfortunately, his head does not come off and become another headmaster, which that would have been awesome if they would have done that. He has all kinds of ball joints on him, so just looking at him right now, there's a ball joint right here, so you can go forward. You could go back if there wasn't this on here. You can go out to the side. Then they have the elbow has a ball joint on it. Then right here at the waist, it's a ball joint. You can go out. You get hindered going back. Then a ball joint at the knee, and that's about it. So let's put him back into his head mode so I can finish the articulation on the bigger guy. So these right here, when you don't have this tabbed into here, these can actually rotate. I don't know what purpose that serves, but it can do it. I guess if you wanted to make another type of base mode or carrier mode or whatever, or battleship mode, then you could twist those rounds or something and do something a little bit different. Coming here, he has two joints in his shoulders, one that allows you to go forward and back, and then he also has another joint, a new joint that's in here that allows you to raise his arm up like that, and it only goes about that far, and it's a really tight ratcheting joint. So that's new and that's exciting. And then you come here, he has two elbow joints, an elbow joint right here, so that you can twist that up like that, and then another elbow joint right here, so you can get all the way up to like that. Then there's right here, you can see there's a twist, and then you come down here, the hand has a twist, and then you can, the fingers, they're all together, they're not individually articulated, which is fine. It's not needed. Then you come down here to the waist, and go ahead and move these hands up, and you can swivel the waist, and yeah, that was a feature that was in the original one, I think. You can you have a ratchet joint right here that allows you to move the leg forward and back, and then another joint in here to allow you to move it out, and then a new joint for the twist. Then he has his knee joint, which is on a ratchet, and then down here at the foot you have a tilt basic, or you can bend the toe down basically for transformation, but then he also has an ankle rock right here, which is, you can go pretty far on it. Normally you wouldn't want to go that far on an ankle tilt, but you know, just to show you how far it can go. You know, a lot of people that I've talked to say this guy is too small. I don't mind it. I think it looks nice. I like the added things that they did to him to give him articulation. I think if they would have upscaled him to a proper Fort Max sized figure, we would have been spending way more money than what we are for this guy. And I think that's probably what ToyWorld had in mind when they made him so small, or they made him this size, is do we want more people to buy him that can afford them for a lesser price, or do we want to try to upscale them and make them proper, but a lot less people buy them because they can't afford maybe a $500 price tag? And that's probably what it would be if they were actually to upscale him to the proper size. Some people can afford that, a lot of people can't, and I know that personally myself, if he would have been a $500 price point figure, I wouldn't have picked him up. With him going at just over $100, that's fine for me. And I think that that may be more of a reason why they actually did this and did him this size. But with the IDW universe, he was actually a normal sized Autobot or a normal sized robot. He wasn't giant, so that could also be another reason why they thought of doing this. So, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this review of ToyWorld's Infinitor. Don't forget to check out my other videos. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter. This has been Tambiota, and I'll see you next time.